We left off last time where you guys just found a financial backer for the auction, Juliana, and she announces to you that yes, I will be your backer. Uh, what you do is just, and I will see you guys at the auction tomorrow. For tonight, though, why don't you join me for dinner with my guests?
All right.
I would like that very much.
Okay,
I
very
could
nice,
eat.
Artorias. Callan could eat. Well, these guys are making a feast, an Udonian dish that I'm sure you will enjoy. She's kind of looking at you and gesturing you to the seat. She's inviting you now into her home.
He's
she's
not.
kinda
He's
looking
like,
at
no,
you.
I'm good. I can stand.
Since you're a very, very peculiar fellow, do you have difficulties in your past trusting people?
I don't trust anyone.
Well, I can assure you that there will be no trouble here from me or any of my guests. And I hope we can put you at ease by the end of the night. So she looks around. So, all of you, so what brings you all here?
For
My
one.
feet.
I used to live here when I was younger, so
Oh.
I decided to come back and see how things were
Oh, wow.
going.
Yeah.
Essentially, and I'm not liking what I see.
Yes, I traveled at a young age, and my father was here, and I heard of his passing, and had to come back to take over the family. And so yeah, I can assure you, it's much different than when I was younger. Um, she says, but we can get to the bottom of this. You guys have any like things going on in your characters' minds, or anything that you're thinking about? The city, or anything that you'd be interested in talking to Julia about as dinner is cooking.
My character's curious as how she got her wealth, essentially, in this city.
Hmm.
Doesn't seem like honest people seem to thrive. So the fact that somebody with wealth is willing to help us is kind of an oddity.
Yes, she kind of goes on to look around and talk about the age of the house, because it's kind of off in a not a wooded area on the outskirts of town, but it's in Chicken Park, which is known to be kind of a slummy area, I guess you could say. And it's a very old building, and her family was one of the original like founders of the city, and so they basically do business. But in time, they had kind of been pushed out of different things while still having success, and she can basically say she doesn't have many friends here.
Well, you have one more.
You know what? I appreciate that. It's hard to come by good people nowadays.
That's true.
You can see that the guy who took your things is saying, "The dinner is served."
Sweet.
um, he walks over to you and he says, "Sir, everybody is relaxed and has their things. Do you mind? Do you want me to take your things at this time?"
He's still pretty, keeping his
As you wish,
bag
sir.
on him.
Yes, as you wish, sir. Please enjoy the food.
Ooh, that's now one.
So not your role.
He
17.
forgot everything he knew.
So you
up
just
to
know
this
that you can tell
Kennedy's
by
just
their
suddenly-
garb and how they kind of handle themselves, and that they are from Udon, which is this kind of, I guess, think desert, like almost Arabian type city.
Okay.
There's different people coming up to you with food and setting plates, much like you would be at a bar or something like
They
that.
have the pickled eggs here. That'd be great.
She says the pickled eggs.
They're disgusting.
You're trying to
I
stop
never
that
wanted to
trend.
say anything. She says, but you're right.
Thank you. I'm
Yeah.
glad someone else agrees with me. I've been surviving off my rations for quite a while.
I
thought they were quite good.
Yeah,
Oh.
there's nothing bad with them.
Well, they are considered a delicacy here. My father loved them.
I think it's a guy thing.
Yeah, I never had a taste.
You might be onto something.
So, she's coming out with wine and like different things. You guys are having a good time sitting around the table, really getting to know your backer and really getting to like understand where she comes from and things like that.
How'd you get to know Legs?
Legs was a friend of her father's, and she doesn't know a whole lot about them. But her father always said that they could trust legs, so she always did, and she hasn't seen him in years. But
So she doesn't know anything about legs really, besides just
yeah,
they can be
she met him when
trusted.
she was young, and now she's back, and legs, found a way for her to help out because she's been basically out of the city for years, and she's come back and I guess she convinces you that she is of good heart, and
I want to ask if when she knew legs, could he walk?
Did he have
Because
legs?
I'm curious as to how he lost. It is not, I'm not doing it to be an ass. I'm doing it because I'm genuinely curious as to how. Like, what was the story that made legs unable to walk? Because
Was he always called Legs?
yeah, maybe he
what's
was
the
he a
deal with
runner
legs?
before this.
Now we should be calling him Nubs.
Yeah.
That'll
Does
be,
he have
that'll
his
be a
legs
party
still?
inside
Like,
joke.
I thought they were just not working. Maybe he was a runner for a cartel or something.
Legs actually was in his former life was a mountain marathon runner, and he earned his fame by climbing mountains in the Dwarven Hills. Quite famous for that. But then, due to a cliff accident, that's just what my father told me, though. I don't know. As she's raising her glass, you can see the
There's just
candlelight
one more than that.
kind of flickering bright, and it's casting a bold shadow against the wall. And you see on the wall a creature, what looks like a creature, reaching up as if to grab her shadow. And it goes into her. And you can see as she holds up her glass, and she just gets like this, like,
I go towards the shadow.
okay.
Of course he does. So,
'Cause
this
please
should
don't
be
get
good
possessed.
because the only one that has any of his stuff.
You see as a shadowy form rips into her shadow, and you can see as her face
The
just
butler.
kind of not withers,
Butler did
but
it.
just her strength
That's why you
is
wanted my
drained
bag.
out of her body as she begins to collapse to the floor.
And just take a punch to see if that works
Okay,
at all.
go ahead and roll me with disadvantage.
16 then.
And it hits. So you punch at the shadow, and you feel like I don't know, something resisting you. You can tell that something is there, and you made contact with something that is in the shadow. Roll damage. Well, you don't roll damage. It's your strength.
It's
Plus,
just
1
4.
plus your strength.
Yeah,
4.
So, yeah.
probably.
It's 4 plus 1, so that'd be 5.
5.
And as you punch into it, you feel a heavy resistance and like almost like a deadening feeling in your fist.
Can I light up the cup I have while he's doing that? I'm gonna light it up and then throw it at the shadow as too to see if maybe that'll disrupt it or anything.
Okay. Yeah.
Like some trap.
So you are. What do you mean lighting? Oh, you're
It's
casting
literally-
light.
Yeah, I'm casting light.
Okay.
On
So you-
like basically the cup's in my hand, so
Yep.
I see him do that. So I'll throw it because clearly something's happening, and hopefully disperse whatever shadow figure's happening after I saw him trying to attack it. Trying to grasp the situation.
Mm-hmm. You light up the goblet, and the whole room goes bright, and you see these kind of things like they kind of like shy away from the light, and they are basically shadows in the light projecting into the space, almost like a ghastly type form. You've revealed these shadows in the room. Everybody roll initiative.
Okay.
Yep.
This is the same dice I used last game.
Cade, you see that the light is projected, and you see that there are shadowy figures, and the one that is reaching into her is kind of like blinded by the light, and he kind of releases her. She tumbles to the ground, and you see the man grab her and kind of grab her body and pull her away.
Oh man. Oh, just like that.
He's kind of grabbing her to the side, and she is like kind of just like her eyes are
Essentially
closed.
just getting her out of the way of
Yeah.
combat.
Yep.
All right. And they're just, by the looks of it, living shadows.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to cast Vicious Mockery on the
Okay.
one that, attacked our hostess.
Okay.
And I'm going to call him that sly, no good son of a bitch.
Okay. It rolls a save, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What's
You gotta
your
roll
DC?
a save against 14.
And what is the save? I failed anyways. So roll damage.
4.
Oh,
Wow.
Nice. That's a good first roll.
Yeah, right. I was worried it was gonna be 1.
Yeah.
Well, then again, it's the first time it's actually worked since the campaign started.
So yeah, you kind of call it a thing on some of it, and it's just like
You have nothing to know.
He had meaner ones, but we're in the presence of elegant people, so he's trying to tone it down.
Talon.
Oh crap! What do I do?
You're prepared. You are ready for your turn.
I was in this story over there. I was like getting it. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Man, what can you do? Like,
I know, I was sitting there.
I would have probably gone over and protected her.
I think I'm gonna do.
Here, see.
Okay, so I saw all of that. How close is that guy? Literally like right next to me.
Yep.
He is right next to me. Alright, so I'm gonna, after I saw him make contact with that, I'm gonna try shock and grasp the thing right next to me while still holding on to the cup in my one hand.
Okay.
Yep.
So no, yeah, you failed to grab. Artorias.
So yeah, I'm gonna try and use Divine Smite on that one.
Okay. So, you, I don't know, pray to your god in any way. Do you have any prayer for your guy?
I
Wait,
just,
what smite did he do?
Divine.
Oh, okay, divine smite.
I asked the Platinum Dragon for strength.
In the name of the law.
Yeah.
Like a holy punch is kind of
Yeah.
cool. I didn't know if it was like
Bam.
divine or thunder.
Like a gavel, you come down and you hit this shadow, and yeah, it almost just explodes in a light.
That's cool.
So it's gone.
Yes. Sparkly dust,
Sparkles.
On this turn, the shadows bang around onto the wall, but because they're all lighted up by your thing, they can't get through the wall. And they go off into the other room. You hear screams.
Oh no.
Oh! So that brings up Cade again. But before that, he begins to kind of drag her away, and you can see that she is indeed unconscious.
The lady.
Is she actually hurt or she is unconscious?
She's
now?
She looks really weak and she's unconscious.
Do I see blood?
Nope.
Fine, I'll waste healing or cure wounds on her. So I'm gonna go over to the.
She is valuable.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk over to her and heal her.
Sing her a lullaby.
Yeah, do my little Zelda's lullaby.
You put your hands on her and she kind of like opens her eyes barely.
Hey, I didn't see blood. For all we know, she could just. been
You can
asleep.
tell that it helped her, but she's still visibly weak in her body. You can see that. Callan.
Hi. Yeah, so I follow them out
Okay.
wherever they go, charging
Yep.
headstrong. into
You
the
quickly
night.
run into one right there.
Awesome. So this should be fun. Use poison spray here.
Oh, okay. I guess
Oh,
you puff the smoke, and it doesn't seem to affect it.
well, great.
Just like,
Yeah, that ends my turn. 'Cause
I'm gonna use my loot to cast Shatter on him then.
Okay, cool. Yep. So, you kind of, so what do? You kind of play a lute? You're kind of
Yeah, basically use my
like a
loot
rock
to,
and roll
yeah.
chord. Nice, I like it.
Yeah, it's like a power strum or a
Ooh.
power strum.
The sound kind of,
Uh,
the shadow kind of like freaks out, and it's almost vibrated apart.
I use meat rock and roll to kill the shadow.
Boom,
Metal.
out of existence. Callum. At this point, you can't see anything of threat.
I want to go over to that guard and ask him if he knows what these. The one that isn't incapacitated.
Okay.
Probably the one that it went by.
There is one next to you, I suppose. So you're just kind of asking it what?
If it knows what these things are.
These look like shadows.
Great.
I've heard that they can, strike at your shadow in the darkness.
Did you
Gotcha.
get what you wanted now?
Sure.
As long as it was useful.
You've
and
never
helpful.
encountered such a foe?
Never.
There's nothing in sight, and you definitely feel like whatever presence was there is now gone.
Do I know that it went upstairs? I probably didn't
So-
see that, though.
I would say that just
I would-
for the stairs don't exist, and it was like a closet.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Oh, I
I
thought
was,
that was upstairs too.
if I
I
knew
know.
it was gone, I'd go and check on her.
Okay, so you come back to here, and yeah, she's really struggling. Luckily, Cade played a lullaby, and she's at least like kind of stirring, but still extremely weak.
While he's doing that, I'm going to detect magic and kind of look around to see if there's any more presence of the creatures, just in case.
Okay,
'cause I
yep.
don't want to see it just randomly.
Okay,
Ambush.
Yeah, exactly.
like you feel not unsafe, but almost like I don't know, like a haunted house. How about that? You get this eerie feeling like something might be there.
Look at this guy that took all of our bags or whoever,
Uh-huh,
wherever
uh-huh.
he is. And I'm like, so.
All of your bags.
Yeah, bags. I'm like, what the heck is up with this house?
I don't know what these shadows are. This is totally out of the ordinary. Here, let me get your things.
Are you? So sketch.
So one of them walks up to her. He identifies himself as Scenario, and he pulls out a pan drum. It's a drum, an instrument that roll history check.
Maybe to the
Do I get advantage
bard.
because I'm a bard?
Well, this is why you even get to roll. Yeah,
Oh,
but
well
sure,
then-
go ahead if you want.
Thank God, because it was only a 4,
You just know that it is.
and that was a 2.
Yeah, you know that
It's an instrument.
It's an instrument from Udon. And so yeah, as he's playing, you can see that an energy, a healing energy is
Nice.
going into her, and she kind of finally can open her eyes. And
I want to
she's
jam with this guy.
just- Can you?
I added my guitar.
Then she falls back to sleep. And painful.
Hey, some great music. I'm just gonna
That's good.
relax and listen.
She looks up at you and she's like,
Jam
Play
session.
that.
I feel like they were trying to reach into my head, into my thoughts.
Just saying, there might have been a previous experience that most of our party experienced that I did not.
What do you mean?
What
It
you?
felt like a nightmare,
Yeah. But more like a memory.
almost like a vision of the future. A ticking clock is all I heard in my head.
Dream.
Like, we surrounded by like a whole bunch of non-humanoid things in robes.
I didn't see the non-humanoid part, but the robes, they all were surrounding in robes. It was very frightening.
Was there a man holding a heart?
No.